owners of small businesses getting kind of shocked when they see the price tag. Wow, I'm going to get so rich. And we can also add that cash is cash and cash equivalent.
Welcome back. Enterprise value versus equity value. Do you really know the differences? Well, if you do not, we're here to explain it for you today and why you should know about that.
In particular, why?
Yes.
And how to think. Because I see as a business lawyer, I do M&A transactions daily. And I see a lot of small owners of small businesses getting kind of shocked when they see the price tag. Because they expect something much higher. And we're going to explain to you why that is and how you should think about the enterprise value and the equity value.
Yes. So now when you hear these words, after this episode, you know exactly what people are talking about.
And know how to deal with it in the actual transaction. Because there's a many YouTube films about calculations. Brilliant. We'll drop some tips below. We're going to look at it from the business angle. You as the owner, how should you think when you're being approached by a seller? What questions do you need to ask? And what you need to know to define if this is a good price, cash in hand at the end for you.
So let's start.
Yeah.
And remember, this is not legal advice. It's knowledge sharing.
Good. So let's say we have a house.
We have a house.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have a big house. And that house has a value of $1.5 million US.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will write it here.
It's Ida's house.
It's my house.
Lovely house.
Yes. I have a door here.
Yeah. So let's say you have a loan of $1 million.
Yep.
So more than half, 2/3 of the house is financed by a loan. That means that your equity part, the part you own, is 0.5, right?
Yep.
Now then, what does this tell us about the enterprise value? Because it's the same thing. The house value is the enterprise value.
The total.
Yeah. The total value of all stakeholders. Well, if we're going to look at your house, if I'm going to buy your house, do I care if you have a loan or not?
No.
No. I don't care about that portion. I care about the value, right?
Yes.
So that's why when I'm as a buyer looking at this company, this house, I want to know the enterprise value, the house value, the total value, right? But the equity value is key for you. Because if I'm buying this house, I wouldn't take over your loan, right?
No, hopefully not.
No. Because if I were to buy your house for 1.5 million and the loan would follow the house, I would effectively be buying the house for 2.5 million, right?
Yeah.
Won't happen.
No.
No.
You don't agree to that.
Market value 1.5. Yeah. So this is the part with the equity, right? So typically a buyer will want to buy cash-free, debt-free, which means that what I would be paying you for this enterprise, if the loan stays with the enterprise, will be the equity value. So you will only, in the share purchase, you will only get the price your equity value represents. And I see a lot of buyers, first-time sellers, that they look at the term sheet and say, wow, this is enterprise value, or we're going to go with the EBIT times 5, a multiple of 5. Wow, I'm going to get so rich. And then after the due diligence, normalization process of the EBIT, they end up with such a small equity amount, price tag, that they're shocked.
Yes, I would be sad.
Yeah, they don't realize the difference. So remember, this is what you're going to get in hand. This is the value. But this is a debt. It's not yours. So we're going to look at another example to know how to calculate equity value versus enterprise value.
Yes. So the house did not go through here.
No selling. You're waiting for the price to go up.
Yep.
Yeah. To 0.5, you thought we'll get more.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's say now that we have defined the enterprise value of a company of 15 million US dollars.
I will write here.
And we want to know the equity value. Then we will look, we know also that we have debt of 5, right?
Yeah.
And we have cash in hand of 2 million, right?
Yeah.
So enterprise value 15, debt 5, cash 2. Well, in order to find out the equity value, we will take the enterprise value of 15, right? And we'll take it minus debt of 5, nice, plus the cash of 2, and we will have an equity value of 12. So, equity value, that is the enterprise value minus debt plus cash. Let's say we have the equity value instead. Now, do you want to do it?
I can do it.
Then, if we want to know the equity, the enterprise value based on the equity value, then we take the equity value of 12.
12.
Yeah. And we take the equity value of 12 and we add the debt. And we take minus the cash. So then, what do we end up with?
Whoop. We have 15.
15. I can write it.
Yep.
So we did the correct thing.
Yeah.
So what we have is enterprise value. Then you take the equity value plus debt minus cash, and we end up with enterprise value.
Yep.
If we want to calculate the equity value, we take the enterprise value minus the debt plus the cash, and we have the equity value. Okay?
Yes, I'm totally with you.
Yeah. And if you remember that house, we can, again, we have here, we have the whole, this is the whole, is 15, right? So equity value, 12, and the net debt will be 3. Because the net debt is 5 minus 2.
Oh.
So this here is the E root. And this here is the EQ root. Right? So net debt, that's just another way of saying that we took enterprise value.
Enterprise of 50 million.
Minus debt plus cash.
Yeah. That's correct.
Yeah.
Wow. Was that
That's it. We're done.
Well, now you know how to calculate the enterprise value and the equity value.
Yeah. An equity value, your price in hand, the value of your shares, the equity stake of the company.
Yes, and now I see why it's so important to know the differences between these two.
Can be huge.
Yes, it can be huge.
Imagine that this was the debt part. Right?
Oh, dear. So now you know. I mean, it's so good to know these kinds of information, and Kat explained it so well.
Thank you. And we're going to have another episode about working capital, because when we say cash-free, debt-free, there are nuances, and one of the biggest disputes between a buyer and seller will be about defining what is working capital. Because that is money that the buyer will want you to keep in the company typically, because that's needed to keep the operations going. So cash in hand is less that, which is working capital, which they typically include then in the operations.
So it's also a crucial part to know about.
Yeah. And we can also add that cash is cash and cash equivalent. So
good to know.
Good to know.
Well, now you have one more tool in your toolbox.
Lovely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if you have questions, drop them down below. Or if you have experiences in these types of information, share them.
And we'll also put together a playlist where you have more, if you want to look at the finance and accounting side of it, where they dig in deep in these calculations. And I would say mergers and acquisitions is a great YouTube channel when they also look at, can the enterprise value ever be 0 and things like that.
That's
for us nerds. I love it. So gonna drop that below.
Yes, good to know. And this episode is also powered by LE Fitness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hej då.